I want to talk a little bit about our Fist series, which is our ball screen motion offense that you can run with two traditional low posts. You can run it with 4 guards, which we call Fist 4, or you can run it with 5 guards, which we call Fist 5. And you're going to see us running this last year with a young team that sometimes makes the correct decisions, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they miss open shots, but you'll see a good portion of what the offense is designed to do. We're going to start here. This is our very first game of the season, and here we're running traditional fist with our post player here and post player here. So to give you an idea of what we're trying to do, we're trying to set a ball screen here on the wing. We got our guards here. This guard should be sprinting to the corner. Now she can also pass to the wing and cut ball side if she wants. We give her the option. This player seemed to always go to this corner, so that's fine. This low post player here, her job is going to be to duck in as this player comes off the ball screen. She's going to duck into the middle while this player rolls. So we'll see how this looks on the very, very first play. We're coming off. Now, we rarely get this roll here. We're trying to drive this double gap, which we do a really good job of this. This player here, she's not much of a scorer. So her job was to basically seal. She knew she wasn't going to get the ball very much, but her job is to seal this defender off and allow the guard to get all the way to the rim, which we score on. Okay, next example. We're still running fist. Again, this guard's going to go to this corner. We have a guard here. Here's our duck-in player, and here's our screen. So a couple things about this one. First, let's back this up again and look at the screen that is set by this player. And for this offense to be effective, you've got to be a good screening team. And the screen here is pretty bad. Watch how she doesn't hold it. She basically makes contact. It's almost like a slip, when in this situation, that's not really what we want. See, very fast. So this player, we don't put this player really in a disadvantaged situation. Now, we do have our duck in down here. Now, again, if this was a really good scoring option, you'll see what we would like to get out of this. We get it, we swing, and stop. You can see this player's already coming back out to set the ball screen, which is fine, but look at the position that she has, and this is something that you get quite a bit. You get the duck in on that swing. It's that triangle pass to where you go from here to the post. If this is a player that has any ability to score, it's a seal post-feed layup, but we don't have that. So she's coming right back out to set another screen again, which is fine. Now, on this example here on the second side ball screen, we're going to get a lift action here, and we should get a duck in here. There's the duck in. We get a shot and a bad look. So let's go back to this again of what the proper read probably should have been. So our guard comes off the screen. We're not going to get the roll even though she's kind of open. A throwback would be a good option here, or just a swing it over here and we continue the offense. But we ended up taking a really contested shot here and get nothing out of it. All right, next example. This is a different game. We are still running traditional fist. Here's our screen. Here's our lift player. Here's our kick player. And here's our punch in. We come off. Now, look at this one again. This is a few games later, and by now we'd like to be making a little bit better decisions on this. But again, we don't really get a good screen. Watch this, the same post player from before. She taps it and then just releases. The guard here should definitely continue to drive for a kick, maybe a post feed here, although I doubt we're going to throw it to her. But we throw a short roll pass. We get ourselves in trouble, still manage to get a shot, but that's not really what we're wanting. Okay, back to fist again. Now this is a good example of how we can get the ball to roll. So let's watch this again. Come off. There's our duck in player. Again, she's going away. That's fine. We also like to refuse this screen as much as we can, but we use it. Now, this is the best screen that she's set in a while. We want this defender to have to go over, putting this player in some kind of position to make a decision. The guard here comes off, does a nice job of selling it, and we score and get a foul. Now we're going to go to fist 4. Now fist 4, we've got, and this is our other post player, but she's actually a guard. So we give this player a lot of freedom. She can drift this whole area. She can stay in here and duck in like a post player if she wants to, but she can also drift and spread this side out for a regular spread ball screen. Coming off, we refuse that. Let's go back and look at that again. We tell our guards, refuse if you can. She does. We chase it in and rescreen. We get a swing. Now we're back again. Now let's watch this. I'll play this one through again. This is actually a pretty good job by our pick and pop guard. Now, but again, these details are really important. We get the pass. So now this player needs to wait for this screen, and she doesn't. She's already taken off. That's not what we want. It's easy to guard. But since we have our pop player here, she does a really nice job of getting space and attacking a closeout. That's pretty good. Draw a foul. Fist 4 again. That's our guard. Now she's going to be a pop player. She's got room over here. There's our traditional post. This player should be sprinting to that corner, and she's jogging. That's not open. Good decision. We got our punch in here. She's helping a little bit on that. That's right. We're swinging it over. Now we're on this side. We should have a lift action here. Our guard here is drifting. This guard should be spaced. We'll see what happens as she comes off the screen. Now, we get a throwback here, which is usually good for a throwback post feed. But again, this is not really a scorer. So probably better to go ahead and swing it over here to our shooting guard. But we get a throwback. And again, we just drive it into traffic. And you're going to have that with inexperienced young teams. Again, fist 4. There's our guard. She's drifting. We have our lift player and our kick player. Come off the screen. Again, not a great screen, but we get a pull-up jumper, contested shot, and this one goes in. Again, decision-making here is the important part of the offense. Honestly, I think the pass is there or there. We can make that pass, but we end up taking a contested elbow shot that manages to go in. Another example of fist 4. Now we're playing, this was one of the best teams that we played all year, and you'll see our execution is getting a little bit better here. So now, fist 4, there's our guard. Now let's go back real quick. This time when our guard makes this pass, we don't want her to go over here because that's where our 4 is. We want her to get to this corner. But again, this is a freshman, and our decision-making is still a little bit slow, but it's really simple. We want this player to make this pass and sprint right to that corner. And we want this post player to come up and set this screen right as she crosses, almost like it's a blur screen. But she doesn't. She goes through and kind of clogs things up. See, she should already be here by now. And we try to refuse and can't because this player's in the way. Come back and rescreen. Very good. Draw a foul. But that could have been set up a little bit better. All right, again. Now, this time, let's back this up again. This time, this guard makes the correct decision because we want, when we're running fist 4 on this initial pass, we want this guard to go away from our stretch player, the pick and pop guard. So she's going to go to this corner. Come up and set it. She's going to be a pop player. There's our guard driving. Now again, this player should already be here, but she's kind of walking. So watch this again. She should be dead sprinting to that corner. She doesn't, so her player is still standing here. Let's go back one more time off of this screen. A good decision here by this guard. This is exactly kind of what we want. We have confusion over here. We have a double gap driving lane. She's going right to the rim and scoring. That's very good. All right, fist 4 again. Now watch this player here. This was one of our leaders. She knew what she was doing pretty much the whole time. So our guard comes down, makes the pass. She should be going away from this player because we want to have space when she picks and pops. And you can see her telling the guard, you got to get over there. And she finally does. We don't score on that, but that's actually not a bad decision. Our screen's not great, but it's okay. Now, granted, we've got kick-out shots here and maybe a skip here, but, you know, we want our guards to be aggressive. They just make a good play on us. Okay. Now, we're running fist 5. Now we've got guard screener, and that's our other guard screener right there. And we actually do a pretty good job with this. There's a refusal and a bucket. Now, let's watch this again, though. Our guard sets it, and she's going to be a pop player. She's not going to roll, especially on this empty side over here. This player has freedom to drift, but since we have all these guards on the floor, she's going to stay more short corner area. But on this refusal, if this player makes this bounce pass, it's a really easy layup. She goes up and scores anyway, but that was also open. Okay. Let's back this up again. We're again in fist 5. There's our guard screener, guard screener. We do, at any time, we allow a DHO to go to this corner, which we get here. Sort of little pistol action there. Our guard sets a screen. Coming off. Finally get that kick out for the open 3. Fist 5 again. There's our guard again. Another refusal, which is fine. Goes in, draws a foul. But if you go back and look on this, if she plants her foot and throws it back out, that's also wide open. But again, she goes in and draws a foul. All right, fist 5 again. So now you can see coach here telling this player, we have to space out. We have to space. We don't want a player here because now you're coming off a ball screen into a single gap. You don't want that. We want this player to really be almost over where the official is, this player to drop down a little bit, giving this player a little bit of freedom to move. This player is in the absolute wrong spot here. So we end up refusing the screen almost because we have to. Stop. There's our little throwback. Now we're going to keep running it. This player now has a mismatch. Again, fist 5, open spot over here. She decides to take a bigger player and draw a foul. All right, here we are again, fist 5. So here's our other screener. Here's our guard. And we had been noticing during the game that they've been struggling guarding the pop action a little bit, so we wanted to focus on this a little bit more. Hard to guard, good shot. All right, again, 5 guard set. Now, this guard here is a pretty physical player. She's a good shooter, overall pretty good player. She sometimes likes to punch in and try to get the ball down low, which you'll see right here. Really nice. And if you have guards that you want to post up, this is a pretty good thing to do. Again, not a great screen. That has to be worked on. That has to be worked on. That angle, it's a little bit too easy to slide over top of that. But this guard does a really good job of penetrating, and our duck-in player does a great job of sealing. Now, the reason why this is pretty effective, I think, is that a lot of guards aren't used to playing post defense. So if you can do this and have a guard that wants to get down and dirty in there, you can do a lot of stuff with that. Fist 5 again. She's trying to get away. That's fine. Again, another good example of that player finding the open person. And if you can find the open person, people are open in this offense a lot. So we come off. There's our duck in. This player has to help. Easy kick for a shot. All right. This is actually a pretty interesting play here. So we come down, we kick it. Again, this player should be gone. She should not just be standing there. But we get a screen refusal with our pop guard, an immediate throwback, which is great. Now we have an open 3, or we'd rather this player drive this closeout here, but that's also not a terrible shot. So in a nutshell, that's the ball screen motion offense. It's very simple to run. And it works if you've got 2 post players, 1 post player, no post players. I think it's better if you run this with 2 post players, if they're scoring threats, if they're not, they're basically just screeners. But if you've got 1 or 2 posts that you want to throw it down low, you get a lot of stuff on the duck ends and off the swing triangle pass stuff we talked about. So that is Fist.